Hello, Terrence Keene. I play Dr. Richard in the new film Maturing Youth.
Albee Castro, and I play Junior in Maturing Youth.
Well, there's an element of my character that I don't like to talk about too much because he's sort of a surprise in the film. But without giving too much away, I think I can say there's something supernatural about this guy, something not quite of this world. And that's what I really love. He's a little bit of a mystery. He's kindly. He's also a little bit sadistic.
I think for me, my character, it was nice to see him jump between two different worlds. You know, there's a bit of success in some of the things he does, and then, you know, sometimes there isn't. So it was nice to play those two kind of different parts. Preparing for the role, I had to go back to my childhood. Going back to my childhood and relive just, you know, some experiences that probably weren't the best. And, you know, just it helped me, it helped get me to the place and the situation I needed to be in for me to make the choices I made in the film. You know, there was a lot of things I did, and I had to go back and see why would I do that? What would cause me to do this or to do that, you know? So just going back and just reliving some unpleasant experiences, if you will, you know, and kind of heightened them a little bit. It helped me prepare for that role, you know, really good. So.
Can I just say something? Albee had such an incredible job in this film because he didn't have a lot of lines. He had to convey something with what was going on behind the eyes and the thoughts, and there's a duality about what he did, sort of a successful part and a not successful part, and he created this whole world. When you see the film, you'll see it in Albee's face and his eyes, all this stuff going on. It's amazing. Here's the thing, when I auditioned for this role, it was just one of those roles where you just sort of know what to do. It doesn't happen all the time. It happens sometimes. And I just knew. I knew where the humor was, and I knew how to sort of dig into it. And so I thought I did a great job. Everybody was poker-faced. Nobody said, oh, that's a great job. But I thought, you know, so then
You did a very good job.
then they called a few days later, and I was very gratified. But grabbling a bit, but the director had this one moment that I thought was so great in the audition. It was very funny, and I did it really well in the audition. And when we got to rehearsing the movie, he cut the moment. And I said, no, you can't cut that moment. We're putting that back in. And we put it back in, and you'll see it's very funny. This is tricky. I have to sort of walk a fine line because my character is kind of a surprise in the film, so I'm trying to be a little bit cagey. I want to tell you something, but not too much. He's kind of a guardian angel, in a way. Maybe a combination of Clarence in It's a Wonderful Life and the ghost of Christmas Future in A Christmas Carol. So there's something sort of sinister about him, and there's something kindly about him. But he's here with a mission, and Roger needs him at this particular time. He takes great pleasure in his mission, even pleasure in sort of being a little bit sadistic with Roger.
Yeah, also without giving away too much about my character, he's kind of a lost soul, and he goes through a lot of rough times. So he's been through a lot. So yeah. I'd say the best quality is that he's a go-getter. He's someone who, you know, wants to succeed and cares about, I guess, providing for his family, his future, you know. If I had to say a worst quality is that, you know, he might, depending on who's influencing him, he might go down the wrong path. So, you know, yeah, I mean, it's hard. I just feel like I don't want to give away too much, so it's hard to answer that.
Well, since my character is a little bit otherworldly, he's sort of above that kind of judgment. He's got a higher mission than just a human mission, and he's here to help Roger. So I guess, his heart's always in the right place. His method is kind of tough. He's going to get Roger there one way or another, even if it kind of breaks Roger in the process.
Well, as I said, for me, like just going back to my childhood, in one of the other scenes, my mom, just family, seeing my mom do it as a single mom and really do it on her own. Shout out to you, Mom. But she was my example. She's what I had. So she succeeded on her own. She did it. 3 kids and she did it on her own. So. Oh my God, Terrence, he was great. You want to talk about professionalism? Just on set, just ready, had his lines right. Was just pleasure to work with. He's amazing.
Well, I'm laughing because our big climactic scene, there was the big scene for Albee and myself and Sean, who played Roger, really wasn't filmed until about 2:30 in the morning. We were totally spaced out, but we hit such a great place. It was so intense. And at the end, the crew applauded. They're not there to applaud. That's not what they're there for. It was such a gratification because we really felt we'd gotten to this moment. So yeah, he was great to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the audience is going to see it and they're going to interpret it how they're going to interpret it. But yeah, there's definitely some trippy stuff going on there. So
after you abandon your son, Junior joins a petty street gang, and he spends the rest of his life fulfilling no intention of ambition whatsoever. We weren't quite sure in the filming how some of that otherworldly stuff was going to be handled. I think when you see the film, you're gonna appreciate it. It's simple, but it definitely conveys that something bigger than life has happened.
Fun part for me was behind the scenes, just hanging out with the makeup crews. I had a lot of makeup in one of these scenes, and we were just bugging out, joking around, and having a good time. So it was weird. I'm not used to having makeup put on me like that every day. Have someone in your face like that. But it was fun. It was really fun to see like the transformation. That was cool.
I told her, look, I want to look fabulous. That's all I asked. Just make me look as handsome as you can make me look. I am the puppet master. I don't know if you want to call him an antagonist. I'm pulling all the strings. I'm pulling all the strings with Junior, good Junior and bad Junior, for Roger's benefit. So I'm like Machiavellian in a way. It is a very interesting role.
It's a good question. Nobody's perfect. Everyone has their flaws. Everyone has their triumphs, and So I think you see that. You see, family struggling. You see a family succeeding. You see a family happy. You see a family sad. So, I think that's pretty relatable, and that's something that happens every day. So, yeah.
I think that the audience is going to be led down this road. The main character, Roger, is really dislikable in the beginning. And I think the audience is going to reach a point where they have just had it with him. They're going to be pretty much fed up. just about the time that I come in to save the day. And then everything does a complete change. So I think it's an interesting road.
It was amazing. I mean, talk about professional, like he was just responsive, made sure we had everything we needed. Just great. Like he ran everything. He ran a tight ship, but he got it done. So it was nice to work with somebody like that. Yeah.
He's on top of everything. Has to be done in exactly the right way, and you can count on him to have covered every detail. Even tonight, the way everything is set up here, everything is worked out, perfectly presented, perfectly placed. So that's a virtue.
I think Terrence is gonna take one home. He's gonna take one home tonight. If he doesn't, I quit. I quit. If you don't take one, I'm done.
You know, it's not about it. It's really not about winning. It's great to be nominated. It's great that the film is getting attention. We've gotten some great reviews. I think maybe we're a little bit surprised because that the audiences or that the people that are seeing it are responding that way. I don't really think it's about winning. I think it's about this whole experience and having finally the world premiere of this thing we worked so hard on till 3:30 in the morning back a year and a half ago. That's how long the post took on this. So yeah, we're excited to be here. We're excited to see Maturing Youth finally on the big screen. So professionally, I have to say that I'm very privileged to have studied with three great and famous acting teachers. Michael Shurtleff, who wrote the book Audition, and Terry Schreiber, who runs this amazing studio in New York City, has for the past 40 years, and Vivian Madelon, who directed this production of Mornings at 7 in the 80s. And I saw it and I said, oh my God, it's the greatest directed thing I've ever seen in my life. And then I ended up studying with him, and it was such a great thing. So yes, those three were influence on my professional life.
I think for me, people who impacted me are I would have to say like a lot of my friends in my acting class and community. We're really a tight group, and they keep me like grounded, and it's just nice to be part of that community of people who are just, you know, they're doing the same thing, they know the same struggles, they go through the same things we go through every day, so it's nice to see that.
Don't ask me, she came out of nowhere. It's like the thin air spat her back out at me. Sadie came back with a kid, Mom. I don't even know where to start, Sadie. I mean...
Step up for once in your life and be something.
In a city full of...
I like my life the way it is. I've got no problems to worry about, no bills to pay, no people to see who I don't want to see, no job, no commitments. Hello there, ladies.
What do you have that we want?
I don't care if the little brat's bed gets built or not, okay? He's not my problem.
Well, baby, it looks like your good vibes lied to you this time.
Get out! Quit making me chase you, you little brat! Come take a shower, I don't do one. Oh, girl.
You're 32, Roger. You're gonna have to start growing up sometime.
Fine! The hell with you, why should I care? Eat all the sugar you want! Junior, where are you?